I want to discuss the TSMC company. Why is this company so powerful in the semiconductor industry? And why many tech manufacturers rely on this company to build their chips like Apple, AMD, Nvidia, and etc. Even this company is caught up in the mid of the chip war between US and China. Before we continue, please consider subscribing to this channel to get more insight, information, and review about tech stuff. I'm Fatoni Asari, this is Tresnology. So I want to start with what is TSMC? In brief, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company is a semiconductor foundry company that can make chips for other companies. Other companies have their own design chips, and TSMC provides the infrastructure to mass produce their chips. It was founded in 1987 by Morris Chang. In the early 2000s, TSMC was the world's largest semiconductor foundry, and it has remained in that position ever since. The company has continued to innovate and invest in advanced manufacturing process such as a 5nm and 3nm process. This manufacturing process determines how powerful the company is. The smaller manufacturing process is the main key to creating a powerful processor, which are currently used to manufacture some of the most advanced chips in the world. So what is making the TSMC so important as a semiconductor fab? The main reason is the company can produce chips with a cutting-edge technology. As I mentioned before, the smaller the nanometer manufacturing process they can produce, the more opportunity to make the chip faster than before. And now, TSMC is leading in producing chips with a 4nm process, which they produce for Apple Bionic A16 in the iPhone 14. It will also happen in AMD, which utilize a 5nm process in their latest Ryzen processor and Radeon graphics card. So it will happen in Nvidia, which utilize a 4nm process in a 4000 series RTX graphics card. So many big tech companies like Apple, AMD, Nvidia, and Qualcomm can make design chips for their product, but to mass produce their chips, it takes a lot of money and time to build their own semiconductor company. Without TSMC, these companies would have to invest in their own chip manufacturing facilities, which can be very expensive and time-consuming. By outsourcing their manufacturing to TSMC, these companies can focus on what they do best, like designing and marketing their products. In addition, rumors on the internet that Apple plans to release a new MacBook Air in late 2023 with a new M3 chips and use a 3nm process. It will also happen with A17 Bionic chips for iPhone 15, which uses a 3nm process node. They expect that AMD and Nvidia will follow by using 3nm for their product in the coming years. And how about the competitor? Unfortunately, just a few semiconductor companies can produce chips under 10nm. For example, Intel can produce its own chip but still use a 7nm process node for the latest chips. Korean company Samsung also can produce its own chip with a 5nm. TSMC is also well positioned to benefit from several important trends in the semiconductor industry. For example, the rise of artificial intelligence, 5G networks, and the Internet of Things is driving demand for the more powerful and efficient chips, and TSMC is a leader in producing these advanced chips. Additionally, the ongoing shortage of semiconductor chips due to the COVID-19 pandemic and supply chain disruptions has led to an increase in demand for TSMC service. Every company wants to get more quota production, but TSMC capabilities were severely limited as demand grew. So many companies depend on TSMC production capability, especially US companies like Apple, Nvidia, AMD, and Qualcomm, as I mentioned before. The next problem is US and China try to take control and influence TSMC. The US can control through many policies and regulation because Taiwan is an ally country. But China has a huge market and many tech manufacturing companies that make smartphones, electronics, and other stuff like Acer, Lenovo, Asus, Xiaomi, Huawei, and many more. But the company is working to expand its manufacturing capacity to meet this increased demand and has announced plans to invest $100 billion over the next 3 years to build new fabs and improve existing ones. In conclusion, TSMC is one of the most important companies in the world of semiconductors. Its advanced manufacturing process, foundry service, and impact on the global economy and make it critical player in the industry. TSMC also continued innovation and investment in new technologies combined with its position as the world's largest dedicated independent semiconductor foundry, ensure that it will remain an important company for years to come. Okay, if you like, please don't forget to subscribe and give thumbs up like, and see you in the next video.